Meanwhile, a teenage sensation named Mike Tyson exploded into the heavyweight picture, and at 20 became the youngest man to capture at least a piece of the coveted title. His mission would be complete with all 3 belts wrapped around his waist. But the showdown with IBF champion Spinks wasn't to be. The so-called lineal descendant of the title took a different route, stopping Jerry Cooney in 5 efficiently brutal rounds. Spinks still had his claim on the throne. And as for Mike Tyson, he was making his way through ex-champions and contenders like a human wrecking ball. He took on each opponent with a ferocity foreign even to boxing standards. And in January of 1988, he too disposed of Larry Holmes with thunderous ease. Now the stage was set to clear up the confusion, to settle this controversy over who reigns as undisputed heavyweight champion once and for all. The time, particularly during the reigns of Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in the 1970s, when we couldn't resist calling a fight with this big a build-up the fight of the century. Now, in the different media environment of the 1980s, more jaded or more perceptive, take your pick, we recognize that the public hungers for a heavyweight fight like this one about once every 10 years. So now, in the tradition of Dempsey Tunney and Louis Schmeling and Marciano Walcott and Ali Frazier I and Holmes Cooney, we bring you Mike Tyson against Michael Spinks. I'll be your host for the next 3 special hours from here in Atlantic City. Working with me now and standing by at ringside are my colleagues Larry Merchant and a man not unfamiliar to the heat of this kind of spotlight, Sugar Ray Leonard. Larry?
Thank you, Jim. I would describe the atmosphere down here on the floor of Convention Hall as an electric murmur of anticipation. It will build as the night moves along. And Ray, you had 4 gigantic fights, Durant twice, Hearns, and Hagler. Does that electric jolt, when it reaches full voltage, go through the fighters?
Larry, it has a tendency to make a fighter choke. What these guys must do is shake that off and stick to their game plan.
Block it out.
Block it out completely.
We have another first at this fight, and that's the first time we have an announcer-promoter. Ray Leonard is the co-promoter of 6 closed-circuit venues in Maryland. Ray, did you have any nervous moments about this fight as a promoter, and how does it look now?
Well, Larry, it's been a great experience. In fact, my partner, Frank DeFrancis, is so excited. He wished that Spinks and Tyson fight every week.
Well, that sounds good. There was a time when an event of this size would almost undoubtedly be held at the one-time mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden. Tonight, Madison Square Garden is one of many closed-circuit venues all over the country. Let's go to our man there, Bruce Beck.
Thank you, Larry. Madison Square Garden is alive. This may not be the live site for Tyson Spinks, but you can't tell it from the reaction of the fans. This place is electric right now. This is one of 1,600 closed-circuit venues across the country. The average ticket price, $35. And here at the Garden, the price is commensurate with that. The lowest price, $20. The highest price is $60. But the fans got a lot more than just Tyson Spinks this evening. They had a chance to see a live undercard. Headlining the card was Michael Dynamite Dokes, the former WBA heavyweight champion, and Mike McCallum, the former WBA junior middleweight champion. Both were victorious. But Glenwood Brown was not as lucky. He was defeated by the veteran Saul Mambi in a split decision in a welterweight bout. Now, just about 20 minutes ago, these 4 giant screens behind me, 15 by 20, were lowered into position. The Garden tonight, well, a crowd expected of 17,000. That's a walk-up of about 5,000. That's one of the largest walk-ups in the history of this Madison Square Garden. The crowd is as diverse as New York City. We have fans from every ethnic group, from every social class, and they are here because it's an event. During the course of the evening, we'll be bringing you reports from the Garden to give you an idea of what goes on at a closed-circuit venue. Now back to Larry in Atlantic City.
Thank you, Bruce. And we're getting ready for our first fight of the night. James Buster Douglas and Mike Williams. The focus of attention will be on Mike Williams, who is regarded as a potential future opponent for Mike Tyson or Michael Spinks. And there is Mike Williams, a man who looks like he's been sculpted for this job. 1 defeat in 17 fights, and that was in his 13th fight against a formidable opponent for that stage of his career, Tim Witherspoon, by a split decision. Mike Williams out of Houston, Texas. And there is James Buster Douglas, who had his shot at the IBF title, lost it last summer to Tony Tucker, a good, solid journeyman. And here is our tale of the tape. Douglas looks a little beefy at 232, Ray.
Well, a lot of times these guys figure that the additional weight around the midsection creates an armor. I doubt they're very seriously this time around.
Indicates perhaps that he's lost a little of his enthusiasm after losing that fight to Tucker last summer. Here are some statistics for a statistical profile of the fighters from our punch stat. You can see they throw almost the same amount of punches and land about as often. But the jabs also, a lot of jabs, almost the same numbers for each one. And here are the New Jersey rules that will be in effect tonight. The 10-point scoring system, 3 judges, not the referee, scoring the fight. There can be a standing 8 count. And the fighter cannot be saved by the bell, even in the last round, which is unusual. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect, and the doctor can advise the referee to stop the fight. Now let's go to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Atlantic City's Convention Hall, courtesy of Mr. Donald Trump and the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino. This is the first of our featured bouts of the evening, and it's brought to you from Don King Productions. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard. The judges assigned at ringside are Frank Brunette, Richard F. Murray, and Frank J. Cairo. The referee for this contest is Rudy Battle. This contest is scheduled for 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the solid black trunks with gold letters, he weighs an even 217 pounds. His professional record, 16-1, 11 by knockout. He's from Houston, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Williams. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the solid white trunks and weighing an even 232 pounds. As a professional, 26 victories, 4 defeats, and 1 draw, 18 big KOs, from Columbus, Ohio, James Buster Douglas.
Okay, gentlemen, you've both received your pre-fight instructions. I expect a clean break at all times. I want a clean contest, and good luck to both of you. Let's shake hands. Shake hands.
Douglas figures to be more of the aggressor. Williams is a boxer puncher.
Get back in your corner.
Williams from Houston, Texas. Douglas from Columbus, Ohio.
All right, nice and clean.
You would see the experience in Buster Douglas, Larry, because I've noticed with Mike Williams, he has a physique of Mike Weaver, very strong upper body, torso, and he relies a great deal on his power. Here is going to be a matter of picking his shots like he's doing now, using that jab, trying to set the larger man up, Buster Douglas.
Nice and clean on the break.
So far in the early moments, Douglas has thrown all of the hard punches, none of which has landed. Good right hand to the body.
Those are the kind of shots, Larry, that's going to do the job for Mike Williams. He has to drill those shots to the body, try to bring the hands down of Buster Douglas. A mistake that Williams has made in the past is a tendency to be straight up. In doing so, he's been hit by some big bombs.
Tim Witherspoon did hit him with some good solid punches. Didn't put a serious dent in him. Ray, when you see the soft underbelly of someone like Douglas opposite you, is there a tendency to want to go for it?
Well, normally, Larry, once your guy gets back to... There was a jab. It seems to me that Williams was a little off balance there.
He wasn't hurt. He was off balance. As you said, Ray, he stands straight up, and you can get in trouble. You can be pushed off balance easily that way.
And also, Williams answered our question. He delivered a left hook to the midsection of Buster Douglas.
That was the first right hand that Williams has thrown to the head. Williams in the past has done a lot more of this, of moving and sticking and running. He has stood his ground on several occasions here and tried to deliver some punches with some good leverage behind them. Two hard jabs. This is a good test for Williams at this stage of his career. No assurance that he will pass the test. But a nice first round, Ray.
Very good first round.
And there you see the convention hall from the boardwalk outside. And there you see the two men who are the focus of the sporting world tonight.
Come back with your left hook. It's real nice, okay? But you got to do combinations on this guy. You just can't throw one punch. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Bring that breathing back. Slow it down.
That's right. Nice and
slow that breathing down.
He's
Talk
doing
to me real good.
You're doing good.
All right. Great work.
Okay? Let's keep the stick. When I say two, get off. With the right hand, when I say come back with the left hook, come back with it. All right? Then go. All right, let's go. Forward. Let's go.
Find the rhythm, buddy.
That was the voice of Richie Giacchetti,
Stay back in your corner. Stay
the
back.
former trainer of Larry Holmes.
Nice and clean.
Looking at Mike Williams, Ray, I can't help but think that it's in this same room that Miss America is crowned He looks like a Mr. America of athletes.
There's no question about that, Larry. And a lot of times when guys have this type of upper body, a lot of times they're so tight. But what I've noticed in Mike Williams, he's starting to use his jab. He's starting to box a little bit more. He's not as effective dancing around because you see he doesn't have as much spring in his legs. But standing in front of his opponent, giving angles, he's a little more effective, more consistent left jab.
Williams has been a professional a little bit more than 3 years. As an amateur, he lost to Tyrell Biggs in the final of the Olympic trials. Thinks he won it.
Good right hand by Douglas. Douglas now is just trying to wear his man down.
Here I am. Let him go. Great.
He has yet to cut the ring off.
He doesn't seem concerned about Williams' hitting power. Williams has to hit him with something to get his attention because he is coming in. There he tried a right hand, just grazed his chin. Those punches are not penetrating Williams' defense.
Great. Here I am. Stop punching. Both of them. Let him go. Step.
This is the same mistake that Douglas made against Tucker when he was trying to win the title, portion of the heavyweight title. He remained a stationary target, and Tucker just went away at him with all kinds of shots. He has to be a little more. He has to be busier, Larry.
All right, break. Stop wrestling. Turn him loose. Once you hit.
Williams has the kind of style that when it matures, if indeed it does,
Drop that head.
would seem to be the kind of style you'd want a fighter going against a Tyson.
All right, break. Here I am. Turn him loose. Let him go. Step back. Step back, both of them. Bonus.
These are very close rounds, difficult to score.
All right. You lost the first round by a little bit. That round was pretty close to even, but you need to get going to the body more, and you got to start roughing this guy up a little bit. Now, you know what he's got right now, don't you? Huh? All he's looking for is the right hand. All he's looking for is the right hand. Let's get out there behind that jab and start bumping this guy around, using that strength a little bit on him, okay? Let's win this round. Now, we want to win this round. We're going out there to win this round. All right?
Yeah, you're trying to shoot. Throw your right hand together, left hand, and shoot it straight. Turn it over this way. Then you come back with left hook. When you go in, when he's giving away to you, then go down to the body and come back up. You know, so beautiful body shots.
You're not sitting on him.
But you got to keep backing this guy back. Well, please see. Keep him backing up, and you got him. Keep him backing up.
Those white gloves, surgical gloves you see on the hands of the trainers,
Nice and clean.
are a precaution used in New Jersey and some other states against the possibility of contracting AIDS from a cut.
Stay off the back of the head now.
Now, Williams' corner has strongly advised him to be more positive and go after it in this round. They don't want him falling behind too far.
What they want from him, Larry, is to be a little more aggressive and start putting his punches together. Too many times fighters have a tendency to look for one shot. They try to load up with one punch. That's the mistake that Buster Douglas doing. A jab, beautiful, powerful left jab that put Williams to his knees.
You don't often see that, but he caught him on the way in, and he caught him in a very erect posture. He is off balance, isn't he, Ray?
Well, his stance is so widespread. Good right hand by Douglas. Now Douglas is just going to take advantage to stay inside and work the body.
This is a moment of crisis for Williams. Let's see how he deals with it. You can talk about styles all day and all night, but in the end, it's what you do when you're hit that usually determines how far you go in this game.
Larry, also, you will see the inexperience of Mike Williams show, because normally when a guy's hurt, he should grab his opponent to clear his head.
All right, break. Here, turn him loose. Let him go. Step back.
That punch did land on the jaw of Douglas, but it was spent by the time it got there. Good right and a left hand by Douglas.
All right, let him go. Here I am. Turn him loose. Nice and clean. Step back.
There is blood in the mouth of Williams.
All right, here I am. Break. Let him go. Stop punching. Stop punching in there. No hitting on the break. Just keep it clean now. You don't want to get penalized.
Douglas is being busier, rougher, flailing away, and Williams is going to have to sting him with something on the way in to discourage him. Otherwise, Douglas will just keep coming at him.
And he's also loading up, Larry. That's why he's missing those shots. He should use that jab, get closer, and then drop the right hand.
Just as you said, he was loading up, Ray.
Watch the elbow. Keep it clean in there.
1, 2, another jab. I don't know that I've ever seen that happen in a contest. A man knocked down twice by a jab.
That demonstrates the power of Buster Douglas.
Let's take a look and see just why Williams is vulnerable to the jab. And apparently it's simply his stance and where he's at. He's saying he's close to Douglas, and he's just catching a good punch. That one landed, it seemed, high on the shoulder blade or on the point of, or the corner of the chin, and it just pushed him over. He obviously isn't hurt or dazed. He looks more confused. He's saying, what's going on here? Why am I down? I've just caught a jab.
That second knockdown, Larry, he looks dazed here. I mean, yeah. He looks so confused by not being knocked down by a left jab.
And didn't you once knock Benitez down with a jab?
Yeah, but it wasn't as hard as I wanted to be. Good right hand.
Another right hand. And Douglas senses that Williams is not only confused but hurt and on the defensive, and he's going after him.
It's really the jab that's doing the most damage by Douglas. Good stiff left jab. He's putting his entire body behind it.
That was a stiff right hand, but it hasn't dented Douglas. That might have been the best punch that Williams just landed. Good right to the body by Douglas, left hand, and he's hurt again by the jab.
I've never seen that happen, guys being knocked down by a left jab.
And continually rocked by it. What should he be doing to avoid that jab?
He just has to keep his hands up. He's just too straight up for me, Larry. And that's the problem, because
his knees aren't bent enough.
No, they're not. His stance is wide. He doesn't have great legs. Doesn't have great movement. So he's so susceptible to the left jab of Buster Douglas. Plus, Douglas is also a lot stronger.
Let him loose. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Step back. Step back. Step back.
Several years ago, before Mike Tyson became a national figure, he fought in Houston, Texas, and while he was there, he sparred with Mike Williams. And Jimmy Jacobs, the late co-manager of Tyson, was so impressed with Williams at that point that he singled him out as a potential future opponent to Tyson. But right now, with his face smeared in blood,
Turn him loose, let him go. Step back.
still a bit dazed look in his eye, and not being able to seize the initiative, turn this thing around in his favor. Mike Williams is gradually retreating as a potential opponent for Tyson.
A lot of times, guys are better fighters in the gym, Larry, because they have less distractions, less cameras, and I tell you, a lot of times guys have a tendency to choke. I'm not saying that about Mike Williams, but it doesn't really help his concentration here.
Good left that got through that peekaboo style defense. And Douglas is just wading in with abandon.
All right, break, stop punching, stop punching. Turn him loose, nice and clean, step back.
One thing we should keep in mind, Ray, that Douglas got very tired late in the fight with Tucker.
Corner.
Worked some that round. Started getting off first a little bit. And I'm telling you, dude is dog tired. You understand? Put your head back. This guy is dog tired. You should, hey, you just got to get out there and get your hands to moving. Now, come on, get out there and get to work now. Get your chin down, use your jab, step up there and get your hands moving. This guy ain't that much.
All right. James, short hook. Okay, James, you see how nice when you're jabbing and when it does. Why you want to get off your rhythm for? And get it. Stay on it. 2 jab. Keep it in his face. Boom, boom, boom. Then come back. Then go downstairs. Boom. But keep on your jab. You got it. You keep this guy going.
So here is the big arena starting to fill up in anticipation of a major heavyweight prize fight.
Round 5. Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Right now, all of the psychological momentum is on Douglas' side. He is the dominant figure in here. And remember what we said earlier. The mark of what a fighter is what he does when he's hurt.
All right, break your wrestling. Stop.
And we'll see what Williams is made of in the succeeding rounds.
You know, Larry, also the mark of a champion or a possible champion is when he's tired, when fatigue sets in. Good left hook by Mike Williams. Didn't really do too much, but came across the side of the hip.
Good left hand. Williams is dazed. Fights back. His legs appear unsteady.
Both guys are breathing heavily.
Good right hand to the body by Williams.
All right, break here I am. Turn him loose. You're wrestling. Step back, both of them. Let him go. Step back. All right, here I am. Stop punching both of you. Let him go. Step back. Step back.
You notice that when Mike Williams is dancing around the ring, he's not really doing anything. He's not too effective. He's not really cut out to be a boxer. He's much more of a puncher. Much more of a banger inside. Dancing around, he really can't do those two things at one time.
Let him go, let him go, let him go. Get off his head, get off his head. Stop.
If I was Buster Douglas, all I would throw is just a left jab. It's working, why not continue to use it?
Working is understatement.
Hold up, you're wrestling.
It's knocking his opponent down.
Step back, turn around.
Talk about beating a man with one hand, the left.
All right, you're tied up. Here I am, nice and clean on the break. Everything on the break, step back.
Douglas has let his mouth hook a couple of times.
Stop punching both. Stop wrestling. Stop wrestling.
It's a bad mistake.
I think Douglas is a bit tired now. He's thrown a lot of punches, and he's starting to collect some.
That's it. That's
Good
it.
exchange at the bell. Take a look at the flurry early in the round that probably decided that round because neither man dominated the other after this. There's a right to the point of the chin, followed by a left and another right. Williams holds on. Here it is from another angle. Same result. Always the same
Don't be
result.
one punching. But after you get that combination off, get them hands up. Bump, 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 bump. Get your hands up, move on out. But don't be letting this guy be first. Don't let him be first. All right?
Right.
Come on now. You got everybody back.
There is Mike Tyson in somebody's military or police cap arriving at the arena.
All right, nice and clean. Keep it clean.
Ready to enforce his law.
Go arrest someone. Mike Williams seems to have weathered the storm.
You're wrestling. Stop punching.
But again, he's making a mistake, Larry, reaching in. He comes in with his chin straight up in the air. Trying to get some respect here from Buster Douglas by taking the fight to him.
Good right hand, another good right hand. Maybe the way for him to fight Douglas is to back him up. Douglas has been too much for him when Williams has been backing up and allowed Douglas to just roll forward, throwing punches.
Because Douglas is looking for that one big left jab. It's more advantageous for Mike Williams to throw combinations because that way at least he can steal the round.
That's the best minute of the fight that Williams has.
Get off that head.
Left hand snuck through.
Here I am. Stop punching. Stay off the back of the head.
You see what's happening, Larry? Mike Williams is throwing 1, 2, 3, 4 punches, and at least 2 punches will land.
All right, let him up. Let him
On the
up.
other hand, Douglas, 1 jab, 1 right hand. Very seldom you see a combination.
All right, here I am. Stop punching. Let him go. Nice and clean. Step
Williams hacking away at a side of beef.
All right, break. Here I am. Stop punching in there. You got a warning. You got a warning for hitting on the break now.
You heard that. The referee warned Douglas for hitting on the break.
All right, break. Here I am. No hitting on the break.
If
Nice
it
and
happens
clean.
often enough, he'll take away a point. Williams is fighting like a young man who knows what's going on, that he has to turn this around right now.
Well, in doing so, the way he's fighting now, this is the way he should be fighting Douglas, because Douglas has become a little lackadaisical. Not throwing as many punches and starting to stand straight up himself, being caught by combinations thrown by Mike Williams.
And those last 2 punches from Douglas and these are being pushed out instead of snapped out.
No hitting on the break. Nice and clean. Step back.
So perhaps, really perhaps, we're detecting the first sign of a change here, a sea change in who is going to control the second half of the fight. Good right hand at the bell by Douglas.
You won the round. You won the round. You got hit with the right hand toward the end, but you won the round. Now listen, I think you won a couple of rounds in a row, but you know you got to knock the guy out to win the fight. You got 2 knockdowns on you now. Is that right?
Right.
What round was that? Was that the 6th round? 7th coming up? All right, listen to me. Hey, you got to hustle now. This guy is done.
Listen, everything you're doing good. Keep this guy. Don't let this guy come back on you. You're too good for that. You hear me? You're too good.
Come on, you're telling me when you don't know what it is, you got to get mad, boy. Get mad.
Hustle. You listen to me?
I'm listening. Keep
your hands moving and hustle. Get them hands back high. Hey, don't let this guy beat you. Now you come on, let's put it out, baby. Come on. Mouthpiece, mouthpiece.
Let's get around. All right. Back in your corner.
Both corners sense that possible sea change in the tide of this fight. Let's see how the fighters can follow their instructions. Let's see if Douglas is indeed getting a little bit tired.
You see Douglas trying to pick the pace up, trying to pick up the tempo of the fight, but I doubt very seriously that this pace continues more than 1 minute.
On Douglas's part.
On Douglas' part, yes, he slowed down.
A right uppercut. He had caught a couple of clean body shots earlier.
You don't see that powerful jab anymore, do you, Larry? It's not coming out as strong and as sharp and accurate as it was in the earlier rounds.
You would think as effective as that jab was, he'd use his right hand to set up his jab rather than the other way around.
I like this from Mike Williams.
Good flurry from Williams. Combination, 2 shots to the body and 2 shots to the head.
Here I am. You're holding.
We'll see if that extra weight is going to slow Douglas down. Another left hand.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How you doing, Mike?
In his eagerness to get at Douglas, he left himself wide open, and Douglas caught him on the way in. Another left hand that Douglas gets through.
His legs not, Mike Williams' legs not too steady.
Yeah, he's looking for a place to lean. Good right catches him.
Let him go. Step back. Step back. Step back. Hands up. Punch back in there. Punch back.
Mike's legs are really unstable. He's ready to go down at any time now. Watch for that looping right hand of Douglas. Trying to land it, but he's getting a little anxious with that.
That's it. Hold up. Don't rest.
It's the jab that's doing the job for round 1. Buster Douglas. The left hooks are not effective. The right hand's not been landed.
Left hook or a right cross, and that looks like the end.
Stay down. Stay down.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I'm sorry. Just stay here. Just stay here.
I'm all right.
It is the end.
Just stay here. I got him. How you feel, Mike?
Doctor jumps into the ring, and you can hear the rest.
All right, good. Good.
Just straighten his leg out for me. Just straighten him out. You feel all right? We'll roll it a knockout. Richard. Knockout. Hey, Frank. Give me a hand. Let me see you stand up first. Wait. Stand, feel all right? Stand up? Feel all right. Can you walk over the corner?
Here's Buster Douglas, an upset winner. And let's take a look and see how he completed the job. As Williams got more and more aggressive, he left himself open. A clean left hook followed by a right cross. We'll take another look at it. And this finish may or even probably will finish Mike Williams' hopes to get in the ring someday with Mike Tyson. Whether it improves Buster Douglas' hopes or not remains to be seen. Douglas is no longer a young, hopeful fighter. He's a journeyman who has had a shot. But he performed like a real professional tonight, Ray.
Well, Larry, he has the power. He has the experience. I think what he must do is get better shape so he can be in line for another title shot. I mean, here, he's using his upper body strength to just annihilate Mike Williams.
One thing you know about Douglas, he comes from a fighting pedigree. His father was a very good middleweight and light heavyweight back in the 50s. Let's now go to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 45 seconds of the 7th round. The winner by knockout victory, James Buster Douglas.
So Buster Douglas,
Let's have a hand from Mike
a
Williams
knockout
from
victory in our
Texas.
first fight
See him again real soon.
this evening.
More
Got
heavyweight boxing
the
action
crowd in the
coming up.
mood for some heavy-duty action later on. Let's now go up to Jim Lampley.
All right, thanks very much, Larry. So we have seen one big upset already this evening, and now we begin to count down once again toward the main event. Joining me right now is one of boxing's leading literary lights, the former chairman of the New York State Athletic Commission, and now contracted to be, there he comes,